It's funny, the dialogue really hasn't changed much over the last several years. I went back and looked at some of my early campaign remarks from 4 years ago, and when you look at it, and you look at where we are today and what we've been doing, it's very, very consistent. And some of the things I talked about was, implementing the redevelopment projects that we thought would come as a result of the master plan. And when you think about that, the redevelopment of the boulevard and all the interest from developers in the city to invest in Fairfax Circle, North Fax, and Camp Washington, I think that's been key for us over the last couple of years, and hopefully in the next 2 years we'll see some of that come to fruition, because it's sorely needed, not just from a residential standpoint, but to attract young families in the city, build up our commercial revenue base, etc. So I think that's going to be a big win for us going forward. I talked about, programs to keep our older housing stock renovated and our commercial properties updated and renovated. And you think about some of the programs like the Housing Renaissance Corporation, and we just enhanced that with LEAP, as well as the PACE program, which we hope will get implemented at some point in time, which is a program that we can put in place to help our aging commercial properties renovate and make them more useful, if you will, to attract businesses in the city. Since I was on the EDA, or Economic Development Authority at the time, one of the big things I talked about was the incubator that we have with George Mason University, one of the premier establishments that we have, which is a nice joint venture between Mason University, the EDA, and the city of Fairfax. And it really has been very successful. I think it could be more successful, and I think with the reinvigorated commissioners we have on the EDA, the reinvigorated Central Fairfax Chamber of Commerce, as well as the good relationship that Ellie and myself have developed with the EDA and the rest of the members of council and mayor, I think that's going to be critical going forward to incubate small businesses and to get them placed in the city. So we're hitting on a lot of cylinders. I think it's important for us to continue down this path. We still have those debates at budget time about the property rates, etc., and they still will always be debated over time. But when you think about it, I've done the math, sorry to say, 55%, roughly 55% of our revenues come from the commercial side of the equation, and 45% residential. Nowhere else in Northern Virginia is it like that, and I think that number could be higher. And with some of this investment in the city, we ventured to invest in a few years that this will be 60-40. And I think that's a win-win, not only for businesses, because it means that they're doing better, but also a win-win for our citizens, because that means that commercial is subsidizing a lot of those quality of life amenities that we've become used to here in the city. So thank you all for your support. Talk me up. I know it's hard to do when you're a candidate, but talk me up out there, and good luck to everyone.